Honey, sit down. We need to talk. Nothing good comes after that. Nothing. r/askreddit, what is the scariest, most terrifying thing that actually exists? Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Hydrocephalus dementia is a way of losing a person twice, once to the illness and once to death. My mom, one of the most brilliant people I have had the honor of knowing, had hydrocephalus dementia. She was fully aware of her condition and fought it close to the end when she finally lost the ability to swallow. It is a hard way to go. Couples or any pair of people who commit hideous crimes together. How much trust must you have in someone to confide this desire? Hey Jane, what do you say we abduct and kill a stranger today? Oh sure Richard, it will be our little secret. The idea that the sickest can find each other like this scares the living shit out of me. I often wonder how these people find each other in the first place. They both attempt to abduct the same person at the same time, and their fates align. Being attacked by a great white seems pretty terrifying. I was paddling around on a skimboard for scientific purposes one time and saw a large dark shape pass under me from left to right. I literally screamed like I was in a horror movie. Turned out to be a sharkly shaped section of reef that the current was carrying me over. At the moment though, it was still top 3-4 scariest moments of my life. Drifting away from a space station with no way to get back. The fact that I'm allowed to structurally weld bridges which hold thousands of cars a day. I'm looking at you Dayton. Granted none of my welds have failed a test, and I put forth my best effort every time. But still, if one decides to fail, yay, that's a scary concept. The fact that you can be paralyzed and unable to move any part of the body while your mind remains completely intact. Anesthesia awareness. You go into the hospital for surgery and you are paralyzed and awake during the entire procedure, unable to scream, move, or indicate in any way that you are locked in. As someone who is having surgery tomorrow, thanks for that. The trust in others that everyone has every day when they drive. While driving from point A to B, every car you pass, or that pass you, could easily kill you with a wrong turn of the wheel or loss of control, especially when it's something the driver can't help, like a seizure. Highway driving is a team sport. Act together, predictably, and we all win. Bleeding eye fever. The symptoms of the viral disease are said to include headaches, bleeding, vomiting, diarrhea and muscle pains. The viral hemorrhagic fever is said to leave people bleeding from their eyes, mouth, and anus. Other symptoms include dizziness, body stiffness, backache, sore eyes, abdominal pain, mood swings and confusion. Hippopotamus. They can weigh about 2 tons and achieve speeds of 20 miles per hour on land. Their bite can easily kill, and they are extremely territorial. More deaths occur per year by hippos than lions, wolves, elephants, and sharks combined. Cordyceps. Lethal mind control fungus. It only infects ants, as far as we know, but it's straight out of a horror movie. Infected ants compulsively climb as high as they can, and then clamp their jaws down. Then a stalk grows out the top of their head and releases spores that infect more ants. The Last of Us infection is based on it. Edit. Correction. It affects lots of types of insects. I only remembered the ants initially. Methamphetamine addiction. I worked with children who didn't understand why they couldn't see their parents anymore, and hearing an 8-year-old tell me they just wanted to go home was heartbreaking. Owls. At least with Alzheimer's, the patient usually doesn't really know what's going on. With owls, the patient has minimal mental impairment and is trapped in a non-functioning body. My cousin's wife suffered from and passed due to owls. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. A man we go to church with was diagnosed with owls maybe 2 years ago, and it's tough watching him regress. He was a marathon runner and now can hardly walk with a cane. He had to quit his job and goes through a lot of physical therapy, I believe. Same here. Man was retired military, great shape. It's horrible watching how fast they go. Sudden random ballistic missile alerts at 8:07 on a Saturday morning while you're tidying the kitchen. Large rocks minding their own business in space that might run into our planet and end everything someday. This plant. Dendrocnide moraites. Too long, didn't read. Horses that touch it run off cliffs to stop the pain. Are there many warnings posted about its presence in the area, or would you have to be a local to know? There are warning signs at all international airports labeled "Welcome to Australia." People that kill without a conscience or reason. You could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or even just asleep in your home, and someone could pick you for no reason at all other than opportunity. The FBI estimates there are anywhere between 25 to 50 active serial killers in the US at this very moment. It could be your coworker, your friend, your neighbor, your server, or that friendly older gentleman living by himself. You'll probably never know, unless you fall under their victim type. Worse than serial killers, the ones who have young women imprisoned in soundproof dungeons. Those women in Cleveland. Yes. Haunting. Brain-eating amoebus. Yup. We would do a lot of case studies in my parasitology course, and Negeria fowleri was by far the worst to read about. It was the same point terrible story over and over. Healthy individual in early 20s is out enjoying life, and goes wakeboarding, jet skiing, cliff diving etc. in warm fresh water. A little water gets up their nose, but other than that, they're fine. The next day they get a bad headache. They notice their sense of smell fade away completely. Then they slip into a coma, and are dead before the week is out. It's absolutely the stuff of nightmares. Space scares the shit out of me, and how much we don't know about the ocean, like anything could be down there. Bolton Strud, a tiny stream in Yorkshire that's basically a river on its side, only a meter or two across, and looks like a calm stream, but if you fall in it sucks you under, and pulverizes you against the rocks. 100% mortality rate for people who try to jump it and fall in. Sleep paralysis is definitely up there. You can't move, but there's something in your room lurking about, and your heart is racing, and you can't process what's going on. Prions. They're basically screwed up proteins that make other proteins get screwed up the same way, like some sort of molecular zombie. Once you have a prion disease, it will slowly destroy your brain by messing up proteins that are vital for life. Once you have it, there's no cure and no treatment. You're just done for. And it can incubate for years. You can have it right now and not know. And as a fun little bonus, disinfectants and other methods of killing viruses, parasites, and bacteria will do nothing for a prion. Fatal familial insomnia is possibly the freakiest prion disease. You just can't sleep. You get progressively worse insomnia until you can't sleep at all anymore, which causes delirium, hallucinations, and eventually death. Imagine just knowing your mind is slowly slipping away, all because your body won't sleep. That is a prion disease. Deep vein thrombosis. It can happen from really mundane things like sitting down on an airplane for a while, and even though it's rare for that, it's going to happen to someone. It can quickly cause a pulmonary embolism or an aneurysm, killing you dead on the spot, and the symptoms can range from swelling or pain in the leg to nothing at all. That's terrifying to me, and it makes my legs squirm thinking about it. Edit, not a doctor, just what I've read on Google and what I've surmised from that. Rabies. If you show symptoms of rabies, you are going to die. Not, you're probably going to die. You will die. In recorded history, less than 20 people have survived a rabies infection. It is not a pleasant way to die. Luckily, the vaccine takes effect faster than the virus. Usually. Sinkholes. At any moment the earth could swallow you whole. That one Reddit post from way back where a college dude got knocked out and was in like a miniature coma for a couple hours, but during that span of time his mind fabricated an entire life that he lived where he had kids and a family. When he woke up after those couple hours he had severe depression because he lost his wife and children from the coma. Getting lost in a cave and then crawling/wriggling around in tight, small tunnels, shoulder width, but you get lost and your torch batteries die. Can't see behind you, no idea where you are, just stuck in the dark hoping to find the way out. Planticola K. This bacteria was modified in the 90s to destroy plant residue by converting it into alcohol. This was approved for public use and was waiting on marketing and shipping for release. During this time, it was tested by an independent Oregonian scientist. It was found that testing in non-sterile soil, unlike the sterile tests done in the original labs, showed that it was incredibly aggressive and pervasive in its spread. It killed everything they exposed it to, every single thing. It is thought that had this scientist not realized its incredibly deadly nature and notified the government and the company before it had been marketed and shipped, it would have been released into the wild by the public and spread to nearby plants at an exponential rate. It would have killed every living plant on planet Earth within 5 months, leading directly to the extinction of the human race. 5 months. Thanks for watching, lads and ladies. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.